Chicago Cubs 2016 World Series Championship still impactful. Although the 2019 Washington Nationals, the 2018 Boston Red Sox, and the 2017 Houston Astros are recent World Series champions, the 2016 Chicago Cubs World Series Championship journey still brings back memories. It's been almost 4 years since the celebration. And yes, indeed, I still withhold that excitement in me. Here's my story. I remember after watching the game on my 50-inch flat screen, seeing the fans rally around Wrigley Field after the victory, I hopped in my Volkswagen and fled from the south side over to the north side to go join the party on North Halsted Street. It was mad fun that night. I can only imagine if they had wanted at home, the Chicago police probably would have had to shut down the major streets that led to the ballpark due to the whole city coming to party down Clark Street. Also attending the big rally parade in Grant Park as the Cubs organization and players stood proudly on the double-decker bus treading down Columbus Drive. It was the highlight of the day for me, just having the opportunity to see Kyle Schwarber and Ben Zobrist float past in pure joy due to earning the championship title. I knew sooner or later the massive drought of the Cubs not winning the World Series in 108 years, in which the last World Series title win was in 1908, after defeating the Detroit Tigers 4-1, would come to some closure, making history once again for the north side of Chicago. They would defeat the Cleveland Indians 4-3 in Game 7 at Progressive Field, a long 10th inning rain delay battle. Final score 8-7 on November 2nd of 2016. NLDS National League Division Series, Chicago Cubs versus San Francisco Giants. Cubs win series 3-1. The National League Championship Series, which is the NLCS, Chicago Cubs versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cubs will win 4-2. Now in Game 1 of the World Series, the Chicago Cubs will lose 6-0 against the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field. Game 2, Chicago Cubs will win 5-1 against the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field. Game 3, Chicago Cubs will lose 1-0 against the Cleveland Indians at Wrigley Field. Game 4, the Chicago Cubs will lose 7-2 against the Cleveland Indians at Wrigley Field. Game 5, Chicago Cubs will win 3-2 against the Cleveland Indians at Wrigley Field. Game 6, Chicago Cubs will win 9-3 against the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field. And in Game 7, the Chicago Cubs will win 8-7 against the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field to win the 2016 World Series Championship. The 2016 World Series Game 7 Cubs versus Indian lineup. You got your managers Cubs Joe Madden and Indians Terry Francona. Now here are your starting pitchers. Cubs Kyle Hendricks and Indians Corey Kluber. Now the batting order for the Indians. Starting as the leadoff man, batting first, designated hitter Carlos Santana. Batting second, second baseman Jason Kipnis. Batting third, shortstop Francisco Lindor. Batting fourth, first baseman Mike Napoli. Batting fifth, third baseman Jose Ramirez. Batting sixth, right fielder Lonnie Christenhall. Batting seventh, center fielder Raja Davis. Batting eighth, left fielder Coco Chris. Batting ninth, catcher Roberto Perez. And here's your batting order for your Chicago Cubs. Starting off at the leadoff man, batting first, center fielder Dexter Fowler. Batting second, designated hitter Kyle Schwarber. Batting third, third baseman Chris Bryant. Batting fourth, first baseman Anthony Rizzo. Batting fifth, left fielder Ben Zobrist. Batting sixth, shortstop Addison Russell. Batting seventh, catcher Wilson Contreras. Batting eighth, right fielder Jason Hayward. Batting ninth, second baseman Javier Baez. Moving to the game summary. Game 1. It was the Indian pitchers Corey Kluber that came through in the clutch on the mound, recording 9 strikeouts through 6 dominating innings. Kluber was so focused he threw 8 strikeouts in the first 3 games, 3 innings, and the momentum had risen. Perez recorded 2 home runs, 4 RBIs at an average of .500. Geyer would record a run, a RBI. Christenhall would record a run at an average of .250. Napoli would record a run. Lindor would record a run at an average of .750. Ramirez would record an RBI at an average of .750. In Cleveland, 6-0 victory at Progressive Field. Game 2, Okay, first game pitching in the World Series, Cubs Jake Arrieta went off like a true giant, standing on the mound, converting a no-hitter through 5.5 innings. Mike Montgomery and Aroldis Chapman will finish out the game. Through the performance, Cubs will record their first World Series victory since 1945. Rizzo will record 2 runs, an RBI at an average of .143. Bryant will record a run at an average of .125. Zobrist will record a run, an RBI at an average of .625. Schwarber will record a run, 2 RBIs at an average of .429. And Cleveland Kipnis will record a run at an average of .111. And Chicago will win 5-1 at Progressive Field. Moving to Game 3. So after the first 2 at Progressive Field, Cubs come back home to record their first World Series game at Wrigley Field in 71 years since 1945. What a historic moment. After 6 innings, Indians' Coco Chris clutch hitting recorded himself an RBI, allowing Michael Martinez to score in the 7th inning. Cleveland pitchers Andrew Miller and Josh Tomlin pitched scoreless innings to close out a 1-0 victory at Wrigley Field. Cleveland Martinez recorded a run. Chris will record an RBI at an average of .200. Moving to Game 4, urgently the Cubs will open up the game in the first inning with the run scored from Anthony Rizzo's RBI single, allowing Dexter Fowler to score. Also in the 8th inning, Fowler would smash a home run to final last Chicago only runs of the game. But it was all Indians field play that steered them to a victory. In the 2nd inning, Carlos Santana homers 1 to give Cleveland first score of the game. And in the 7th inning, Jason Kipnis' 3-run home run to lead the Indians to a 7-2 win at Wrigley Field. Cleveland Santana recorded a home run, the RBI at an average of .273. Kipnis will record a home run, the run, 3 RBIs at an average of .294. Davis will record a run at an average of .091. Lindor will record a run, RBI at an average of .467. Chisenhall will record a run, the RBI at an average of .077. And Chris will record a run at an average of .333. Now we're going to move to Game 5. A must-win was expected by Cubs fans for the simple fact that they were down 3-1 facing elimination from the World Series. Cleveland had won 2 out of 3 straight games at Wrigley Field. Chris Bryant would kick off Cubs offense, connecting on a home run in the 4th inning to even the score 1-1. Cleveland Jose Ramirez opened the game up, crushing a home run in the 2nd inning to get Indians their first scoring run. Cubs kept it consistent in the 4th inning as runs were scored by Rizzo and Zobrist that led to a 3-2 victory. Cubs John Lester pitched 6 innings, receiving the first World Series win from the mound. Also, Aroldis Chapman did his specialty and pitched 2 scoreless innings, closing out the game. Bryant will record a home run, an RBI at an average of .118. Rizzo will record a run at an average of .294. Zobrist will record a run at an average of .368. Ross will record RBI. Cleveland Ramirez record a home run, an RBI at an average of .300. Lindor will record a RBI. Davis will record a run at an average of .200. Moving to Game 6, the squad would take part in another high-intense, very critical elimination game. The Cubs knew they had to make a big impact early in the game at crunch time. After the first strong 3 innings, the Cubs let it be known that they were on an early verge of closing the game out with a win to force Game 7. First inning, Chris Bryant whammies a home run to left center field, followed by Addison Russell connecting on the fly ball to center, enabling Rizzo and Zobrist to score, which puts the Cubs up 3-0. Third inning, Addison Russell comes back in the clutch to rock us up a grand slam in the jam, allowing Schwarber, Rizzo, and Zobrist to earn runs, in which the score was recorded 7-0 heading to the top of the 4th inning. And last but not least, 9th inning, Anthony Rizzo serves up a fly ball to right field. 2-run home run. Bryant advanced past home plate. 9-3, Cubs win proceeding to Game 7. Jake Arrieta would encounter win number 2 of the series from consistent pitching from the mound. Bryant would record a home run, an RBI average at .273. Rizzo recorded a home run, 2 runs, 2 RBIs at an average of .364. Russell recorded a grand slam home run, 6 RBIs at an average of .250. Schwarber recorded a run at an average of .333. Zobrist will record 2 runs at an average of .391. And Cleveland Kipnis will record a home run, an RBI at an average of .308. Geyer will record a run at an average of .125. Moving to Game 7. This is it. This is what the club worked for hard all season to be one game, 9 innings away from winning the championship title. It was almost taken away after being down 3-1 going into Game 5. But Cubs showed they're never giving up. They found them to be a well-structured baseball team, having the most belief that they can make a comeback and strive for Game 7. Now, at the start of Game 7, Cubs versus Indians, my favorite leadoff man, Dexter Fowler, will pump up some momentum in the first inning by blasting the fly ball to center field. Home run, giving Chicago first score of the game. The offense don't stop. Late in the 4th inning, Addison Russell had pitched in on offense and he won the center field, freeing up Chris Brown to score 2-1 lead, followed by Wilson Contreras with a double on the fly ball to center. Ben Zobrist scored a 3-1 lead. Then we move to the 5th inning. Javier Baez gets in on the fun and wham, a homer to right center field, boosting the 4-1 lead. Anthony Rizzo would send a line drive, a grass grazer, to right field to give Chris Bryant the okay to score, 5-1 lead. Alone in the 6th inning, David Ross finesses up a homer deep into center field, producing the 6-3 lead. So at the moment, the Cubs bats would take a rest until the 10th inning, as Cleveland roared back on offense for the Indians. It started in the 3rd inning as Carlos Santana connected on the line drive to right field, enabling Coco Chris to score. 1-1 tie game. Bottom of the 5th inning, Carlos Santana and Jason Kipnis scored from a pitching error made by Cubs John Lester. Still 5-3 Cubs lead. At this point, Cleveland built up some momentum on the field to possibly make a tie game or take the lead. Cubs manager Joe Maddon would make a pitching change to bring in closer Aroldis Chapman for John Lester. In the 8th inning, Brandon Guyer doubles on the line drive to center field, forcing Jose Ramirez to score. 6-4 Cubs still lead. Followed by a 2-run homer bomb into left field by Raja Davis, giving Brandon Guyer the green light to advance home to make it a 6-6 tie game. So at this point, the game is getting very interesting. A tie game in the 9th inning, which will go extra innings. Just before the start of the 10th inning, a temporary rain delay would occur, as the field was covered with a giant tarp preventing the drenched, wet infield. With no run scored going into the 10th inning, Ben Zobrist scored doubles on the ground ball to left field. Albert Amore Jr. scores, leading the squad to go up 7-6. As Miguel Montero singles on the ground ball to left field, releasing Anthony Rizzo to score 8-6. We up 2 runs. As Aroldis Chapman would exit the mound at the top of the 10th inning, Carl Edwards Jr. would take the mound at the start of the bottom of the 10th. With 2 outs and the man on second, Edwards Jr. gave up a hit to Indians Raja Davis, who would not fall back coming up to bat. Singles on the line drive to center field. Brandon Guyer scores 8-7 Cubs up. Maddon takes out Edwards Jr. to replace him with pitcher Mike Montgomery. So it's 2 outs with Indians Davis on first and Martinez up to bat. Montgomery throws. Martinez connects on the ground hopper to Bryant as Chris scoops it up and throws it to Rizzo at first. That's it. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win the World Series. Final score 8-7. Your 2016 World Series champions. And as for Fowler, he would record a home run, an RBI at an average of .233. Baez will record a home run, an RBI at an average of .167. Ross will record a home run, an RBI at an average of .400. Almora Jr. will record a run. Bryant will record 2 runs at an average of .269. Rizzo will record a run, an RBI at an average of .360. Zobrist will record a run, an RBI at an average of .357. Russell will record an RBI at an average of .222. Contreras will record an RBI average of .105. Montero will record an RBI at an average of .250. Hendricks, Lester, Chapman, Edwards Jr., Montgomery all will record a W for the victory. Cleveland Kluber will pitch 4 innings. Miller will pitch 2.5 innings. Allen will pitch 2 innings. Shaw will pitch 1 inning. And Bauer will pitch a half inning. Manager Joe Maddon led the Cubs to their first World Series win title since 1908, ending the massive drought. The Cubs finished the regular season with a record of 103-58, which would be best in Major League Baseball that year. With 103 wins, the Cubs will reach the 100-win mark for the first time since 1935. to document the most wins for the franchise since 1910. Also in 2016, the Cubs won their first National League Central title since 2008. In that year, former Cub manager Lou Piniella clinched the Central Division with a record of 97-64. In his second year as Cubs manager, Lou would win National League Manager of the Year award. Former Cub catcher Giovanni Soto won the 2008 National League Rookie of the Year award. In 2015, Matt enjoyed the Cubs organization, leading the team to the National League Championship Series, also becoming the National League Manager of the Year. After starting his coaching career with the Anaheim Angels, Matt managed the Tampa Bay Rays from 2006 to 2014.